it it put Animal Kingdom on
Yeah,
the
it
map
did.
for me.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that.
Because Matt and I, when we used to go back in the day for the military tickets, you only got 4-day park hopper
Mm-hmm.
passes. And for me, I like to start my first, because we've talked about this, people who've listened, I like to go to the parks each day I'm there. So 4 days, I went to Magic Kingdom the first day and Magic Kingdom the last day. And then it would be like Epcot and then Hollywood Studios. But now, thank goodness we have annual passes, but we do have to extend our stay, because for me now, Animal Kingdom is worth an entire day, because there's so much to do. Like, as far as like the safari ride, you can go on it like 4 times throughout the day and you're going to see different animals.
Right. Yeah, the different
And
experience every time.
yeah, and then like there's other things to do. But before, there was nothing like there was nothing keeping you there at night. So you could do Animal Kingdom and all the things that they had during the day. And then at like 1 or 2 or, noon, 1 or 2, you would go over to Epcot and go to the Nations and get drunk. That was a mixture between turn and drunk. TM, trademark. But seriously, I'm going to Google how to trademark things. Trunk is going to be my new catchphrase. But anyways, but now with Pandora there, like you have to see it at night.
Yeah.
Like you have to see it in the day to see all like the individual details, but you have to see it at night when the ground is glowing, the plants are glowing, your teeth are glowing, like the white around your eyes is glowing. Cool. Like it's and they have a music show. I'm sure you might have heard it while you're there. They're like playing the drums and like they bring in the kids and they hit the things there and it's making drum noises. At night, it just looks so cool.
I know. I love it. It's so beautiful. It's such an amazing park. You know what I did learn, and I learned this from one of our minivan drivers, is did you know that it's usually significantly hotter? Because I felt it at Animal Kingdom. It's significant. I was like, why is it so friggin' hot here? It was like 10 times hotter than the other places. Did you know that the park is actually like, it's kind of like a bowl? Because they wanted the temperature to be warmer so it was closer to the climate of what the animals were used to. So it's actually like kind of bowl shaped, like the way they like dug out the land. So like when you're down by like the tree and stuff like that, it's like about 10 degrees. It could be 10 degrees hotter than it is in Florida when you're in Animal Kingdom, because they wanted that temperature to be closer to the true climate of where the animals were from.
That I did not know. However, I always felt it was hotter at Hollywood Studios really? Because of all that asphalt. I feel like my freaking butthole's gonna melt out.
I was maybe because I was feeling sick, but like I was so hot and uncomfortable. And we mentioned that to our minivan driver, and he was like, "Yeah, that's it's meant to be hotter, for that reason." But I thought that was like pretty interesting. But I'm excited to go back to Animal Kingdom again. I hadn't been to Animal Kingdom in quite a few years. So I have a renewed, and like you were saying before, I have a renewed interest in it. And not just for the Pandora piece. Like there was just so many, like there's so many cool like areas you could just like walk around. Like I didn't go on Everest, but Nick went on Everest. But there's a bar right before you go on Everest. Like a friggin' bar. And like Nick went on Everest, and I got a beer and a popcorn and just sat there, and I was happy as a clam. It was fantastic. I was like, this is...
Nick went on Everest. I got trashed.
I was like,
thank you, Disney.
It was like right before we left to go to brunch at Y Bar George. And I know we're approaching an hour here. We still have a couple other things to talk about. So maybe we'll leave the Y Bar George brunch for next week. But yeah, so I was so hungry because I hadn't eaten breakfast because I knew we were getting brunch. But at that point, I was so hot, and I was like, I just need some beer and popcorn. It was so nice. I was like, this is fantastic. There's like a bar right before you go on the ride. It's the best thing I ever heard in my life.
It's to get your liquid courage.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know I think we've talked about this before. Like the reason why I don't really care for roller coasters is because it's a lack of control. I don't like the feeling of falling because it's a lack of control. I don't have motion sickness, but I have vertigo, and that's one thing, but which was a real concern when we went on Flight of Passage, because I did not know how my vertigo was going to handle that. But it was a little funky, but it was fine.
A lot of people that I hear that have vertigo or have motion sickness can do flight of
I don't
passage,
get
which is
motion
great.
sickness. I just get really dizzy and it gives me a headache. So, but it like kind of threw me off a little bit. But once I kind of figured, like, centered myself, then I was okay. But we still have a couple more things to talk about. We're at an hour.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Wine Bar George, considering they follow us.
I know. Guys, we will talk. It was
but
amazing.
I also want that to be kind of like
I want to spend time with
in
that.
the beginning. Yeah, so that way, like, we can talk about it and people are still listening. Because at this point, at an hour, people aren't listening anymore. Because like our stats show, they click out at 45.
Yeah. So what I will say, if you are still listening, go to Wine Bar George Brunch. It is amazing, and we will talk about it in depth next week.
We will.
Yes. So don't think we forgot about you, George.
Don't, Mr. Wine Bar George.
We'll talk about it. It was so good. It was incredibly impressive. So we'll talk about it next week.
Next week. Let's just record an episode every day.
I would love that. You know how much I would love that? I'd be so happy. I would absolutely do it in a heartbeat.
Well, is there anything else we need to tackle today?
No, we'll put this on pause again. Maybe we'll say it's like part 2.5 next week.
Yeah, 2.5, like Lion King 1.5.
Yes. Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks for dealing with us.
Well, everybody, episode 20. Like, honestly, this episode flew.
It did. I was like, shit, it's at an hour. Oh, no.
Flew. Like, I am shooketh. Shooketh.
It's because we just have such a good rhythm, Brady. We're meant for each other.
I know.